Welcome to Starlight Sci-Fi, your gateway to thrilling science fiction tales and the wonders of the cosmos. Let's dive into today's captivating story. Across the vastness of the universe, countless civilizations have risen, fallen, and clashed. But what happens when those who thought they were at the top of the cosmic hierarchy discover the truth that humanity was always there first? In the heart of the Siren Dominion, a routine archaeological survey on a desolate planet near the galactic core took an unexpected turn. The world, known only as RX-119, had long been dismissed as a barren wasteland, a dead rock circling a dim star. But beneath its ashen surface lay something extraordinary: ruins, unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Massive structures jutted out from the planet's crust, their dark, metallic surfaces gleaming as if untouched by the passage of time. These towering spires and monoliths were cut with such precision that even the most advanced Siren tools could not replicate them. Attempts to date the materials returned astonishing results. The ruins were over 10 billion years old, predating every known civilization in the galaxy by an incomprehensible margin. The architectural style was wholly alien, yet eerily familiar. Geometric patterns flowed in seamless harmony, etched with intricate inscriptions that defied translation. Glyphs resembling spirals, lines, and humanoid figures seemed to tell a story, but their meaning remained elusive. More perplexing was the material itself, which defied all attempts at analysis. It was impervious to scans, immune to disintegration, and seemed to resonate faintly, almost like it was alive. The discovery quickly became a sensation within the Siren Dominion. Scholars and scientists from across the stars flocked to RX-119, eager to uncover its secrets. As they dug deeper into the ruins, they unearthed artifacts of unparalleled craftsmanship. Among the most striking were statues and carvings resembling humanoid forms: 2 arms, 2 legs, upright posture. At first, they were dismissed as coincidences, remnants of some long-forgotten species. But as more evidence came to light, it became harder to ignore the unsettling similarities to a long-extinct species rumored in the oldest galactic legends. The idea of a species predating all known life forms was unsettling enough, but what truly sent shockwaves across the Dominion was a single discovery buried beneath the central spire. Encased in a translucent, indestructible shell was a data device. When activated, it projected a holographic map of the galaxy as it had existed billions of years ago. Star systems long dead glowed brightly, and planets now barren were marked as lush worlds teeming with life. There was also a message embedded within the device, incomprehensible at first but eventually deciphered. It contained a single name repeated across its lines in countless variations: humans. The message ended with a chilling phrase, roughly translated the first and the last. For the Siren, it was both a breakthrough and a mystery. Who were these humans? And why did their creations feel so timeless and deliberate, as if they were meant to be discovered? These questions would haunt the galaxy for years to come. The discovery of the ancient ruins on RX-119 sent ripples of intrigue and unease across the galaxy, but it was only the beginning. Within weeks, scholars began revisiting old archives, combing through forgotten records and neglected databanks for any trace of information about the enigmatic builders. It was during one of these searches that a junior technician in the Cleric Council stumbled upon an anomaly: a signal buried deep within the background noise of interstellar space. The signal had been recorded eons ago, so faint and distant that it had gone unnoticed for generations. At first, it was dismissed as cosmic interference, the kind of random chatter emitted by collapsing stars or ancient quasars. But as the technicians analyzed it further, they realized it wasn't random at all. It bore the unmistakable structure of a deliberate transmission, encoded with precision and intent. What began as a curiosity soon became an obsession, as decoding the signal revealed fragments of coherent language and imagery. When the first decoded message was played back, it sent a chill through those who heard it. It described a species that had achieved unimaginable technological mastery, capable of feats that defied the very laws of nature. This species, according to the message, had walked among the stars when the galaxy was young, shaping worlds and building wonders far beyond the reach of modern civilizations. They called themselves humans. But the message didn't end with a history lesson. It carried a warning, stark and ominous: do not awaken what sleeps. The transmission's final lines were fragmented, their meaning unclear, but they spoke of a terrible force, a shadow that had driven this ancient species to the brink. Whatever this force was, it had left scars across the universe, scars that only the humans seemed to fully understand. The Cleric Council, known for its conservative approach to galactic affairs, debated the significance of the signal. Some dismissed it as an elaborate hoax or an ancient mythologization of a long-extinct race. But others, especially within the Voron League, were not so quick to dismiss the implications. If the signal was authentic, it meant that a species far older and far more advanced than any currently known had once existed, and that they had seen something so horrifying that they felt the need to warn those who came after. Despite the Council's hesitation, independent factions began launching expeditions to trace the origins of the signal. For them, the allure of uncovering the truth outweighed the risks. Yet as these explorers ventured deeper into the galaxy's forgotten corners, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were trespassing into territory where they did not belong. The Voron League's expeditionary fleet, guided by fragments of the ancient signal and the decoded coordinates, ventured into one of the most remote regions of the Milky Way. This part of the galaxy was shrouded in mystery, its star systems veiled by a strange energy field that defied analysis. Ships that tried to penetrate this region in the past had either disappeared or returned with their crews driven to madness, speaking of inexplicable visions. But the Voron explorers, armed with advanced shielding and determination, pushed through. When they emerged on the other side, they found themselves in a system unlike any they had ever encountered. The primary star burned with an unnatural brilliance, its light casting eerie reflections across its orbiting worlds. But it was the third planet that caught their attention, a blue-green sphere suspended in the vastness of space. The planet appeared abandoned at first glance, overgrown with dense vegetation that spilled over ancient, crumbling structures. Its surface was dotted with the ruins of towering megacities, their designs so intricate and advanced that they seemed to mock the achievements of even the galaxy's most developed civilizations. Orbital stations hung in silence, their skeletal frameworks a testament to an era long past. As the explorers descended to the planet's surface, they quickly realized they were standing on a world that had once been a hub of unimaginable activity. Roads stretched for thousands of kilometers, linking colossal structures that seemed to pierce the sky. Massive starports, now overrun with vines, hinted at a time when fleets of ships had come and gone, carrying goods, people, and ideas across the cosmos. But there was something unsettling about the planet. The air itself seemed to hum with a faint vibration, as if the world was alive and watching. Beneath the surface, the expedition discovered vast subterranean complexes, their entrances sealed by impenetrable doors. These vaults, when accessed using fragments of the decoded signal, revealed their true purpose: data repositories containing detailed records of the planet and its former inhabitants. The records spoke of a species called humans. They chronicled their rise from a simple, primitive existence to their domination of the stars. Humanity had built an empire that spanned galaxies, creating wonders that defied comprehension. Yet, inexplicably, the records ended abruptly. The final entries were cryptic, warning of an impending catastrophe. We have seen the end. We must leave. The explorers, while awestruck, were also deeply unsettled. Why had humanity abandoned such a paradise? What was the end they had foreseen? And why did the technology on this planet seem to be deliberately dormant, as if waiting for something or someone to return? The more they uncovered, the more questions arose, each more haunting than the last. The data unearthed from the vaults beneath Earth's surface painted a picture of a civilization so ancient and advanced that it challenged the understanding of the galaxy itself. Humanity, as the records detailed, had not simply existed, they had shaped the cosmos. The humans were architects of empires on a scale that dwarfed anything that had come after, their reach spanning not just this galaxy but countless others. They had begun humbly, evolving on Earth when the universe was still young. Over billions of years, they ascended to heights of technological mastery that seemed indistinguishable from magic. They didn't merely inhabit planets, they transformed them. They bent the fabric of space-time, creating gateways between galaxies, and forged Dyson spheres around stars to harness their energy. Their experiments reached even deeper, altering the very constants of reality to suit their needs. The Voron explorers discovered blueprints for structures that defied logic, orbiting rings capable of accelerating time, devices that could ignite dead stars, and machines designed to manipulate gravity on a universal scale. Humanity had, at its peak, played God among the stars. They were creators, engineers of life, and the caretakers of entire star systems. But as the records revealed, they were also weary. For eons, humanity had ruled an empire of unparalleled splendor. They had explored the furthest reaches of the universe, uncovering its secrets, creating beauty and order wherever they went. But over time, they grew restless. The wonder of the cosmos faded, replaced by a deep understanding that left little room for surprise. The galaxy's mysteries, once infinite, were now predictable patterns to be manipulated and controlled. Yet there was another reason for their retreat, one buried deeper in the archives and more unsettling than the first. The humans had encountered something vast, alien, and incomprehensible. The records referred to it only in vague terms, describing it as a universal force of presence that defied all attempts to understand or counter it. It was entropy given form, a relentless shadow that pursued them across the stars. Faced with this existential threat, humanity chose to leave. But it wasn't a retreat born of fear. Instead, it was a deliberate act of preservation. They locked their homeworld in stasis, shutting it off from the universe, and scattered their knowledge across the stars, leaving behind clues for those who would follow. Their departure was as calculated as their reign leaving Earth as a dormant archive, a reminder of what they once were, and a warning to those who dared tread too close to their forgotten empire. The Vorin could only marvel at what they had uncovered, but unease crept in. If a species as powerful as the humans had chosen to leave, what could have forced their hand? And why did their legacy feel like both an invitation and a caution? As the Vorin League delved deeper into the archives of the ancient human civilization, the sheer scale of their empire became undeniable. However, the more they uncovered, the more disturbing the signs of impending doom grew. The record spoke not only of humanity's rise and technological wonders, but also of a growing existential threat, a force that had haunted them across the cosmos, relentless and ever-present. The galaxy had once been a vast, untamed frontier of possibilities, but this force turned that frontier into a graveyard of stars. Humanity had faced countless challenges throughout its long reign, but nothing had prepared them for the force they called the Harbinger. Descriptions were vague, many of the ancient records had been deliberately obscured or destroyed, but the consensus was clear. This was not an external enemy in the traditional sense. The Harbinger was not a species, nor was it a single entity. It was a pervasive, unavoidable presence, a cosmic plague that slowly consumed everything in its path, erasing entire galaxies from existence. It didn't conquer, it simply unmade. The more the Vorin studied, the clearer it became that the Harbinger had been humanity's greatest fear. This force had rendered even the most advanced civilizations impotent, stripping them of all agency. Entire star systems were erased from existence, their planets reduced to dust, and their stars extinguished without a trace. The galaxy began to fall into disarray as humanity, once the supreme force in the universe, was powerless to stop the Harbinger's advance. The final warning from humanity's archives was chilling. "We are the last ones," it read. "The darkness comes for all. It cannot be outrun, only survived." As the records described, humanity's efforts to escape were futile. The Harbinger moved too fast, devouring all light, all energy, all matter. There was no force in the universe capable of standing against it. Eventually, humanity had made the painful decision to retreat, to lock away their greatest creations and technology, and to abandon their once glorious empire. This realization sent shockwaves through the Vorin League. What had they uncovered? Were they now in danger? They had assumed the threat was a myth, a figment of ancient paranoia. But the more they analyzed the records and the ancient technologies, the more they understood that humanity had not only foreseen the collapse of their own empire, they had prepared for it. The dormant Earth was not simply a relic. It was a final safeguard. The humans had left it as a last line of defense, and they had hidden away their most dangerous technologies. Those technologies, however, now posed a risk to all who dared to awaken them. The explorers on Earth were beginning to realize the truth. They had unearthed something far more dangerous than they could have imagined. Humanity's secrets were not merely the remnants of a lost civilization. They were weapons. And as they activated ancient systems in a bid to understand them, they unknowingly triggered the very threat humanity had left behind, something far worse than they could have ever anticipated. The moment the dormant systems on Earth were activated, something began to stir in the far reaches of the galaxy. The pulse that rippled through space was subtle at first, a faint tremor in the fabric of reality. But as the explorers continued to probe the ancient technologies buried beneath Earth's surface, the pulse intensified, growing stronger with each passing day. It was as though the planet itself was waking from a long, deep slumber, and in its awakening, it was calling out across the cosmos. At first, the explorers did not realize the full implications of what they had triggered. The technology they had uncovered, once thought to be merely archives and relics, was far more than that. Humanity had left behind an intricate network of mechanisms designed not only to protect their civilization from the Harbinger, but also to ensure that no one, not even the most advanced species, could tamper with their legacy. They had embedded a failsafe into the very heart of their creations, one that could activate in the event that an outside species disturbed their sacred grounds. And now, that failsafe had been triggered. Across the galaxy, strange phenomena began to unfold. Massive structures, ancient, dormant, and hidden within the darkest corners of space, came to life. Dyson spheres that had once encased stars in an impenetrable shell began to spin once more, harnessing the energy of their suns with renewed purpose. Long-forgotten gateways that had connected distant galaxies flared with blinding light, creating pathways that defied the laws of physics. It was as though the very universe was bending to the will of something far older than anything the current galaxy's inhabitants could comprehend. Then, the ships appeared. At first, they seemed like mirages in the void, massive, titanic vessels, far beyond the size and scale of anything the Voron League had ever encountered. Their forms were not entirely solid, shifting between states as if they were both physical and intangible at the same time. These ships were not crewed by biological beings, but rather by entities that resembled humans, though they had long since transcended flesh and bone. They were beings of pure energy, their consciousness woven into the very fabric of the cosmos. They were humanity, but not as anyone had ever known them. Their arrival was not an invasion, it was an awakening. These were the elders, the last remnants of the human species, the ones who had ascended beyond mortality. They had watched over the galaxy from the shadows, guarding the legacy of their lost empire and the knowledge that they had left behind. Their return was both a blessing and a warning. The galaxy, they knew, was on the brink of disaster, and only they held the keys to stopping the looming darkness. The Voron League, along with the other galactic powers, had no choice but to watch in awe and terror as these beings, wielding unimaginable power, took their place as guardians of the galaxy once more. It became painfully clear that the humans were not simply the ancestors of the galaxy's current inhabitants, they were its true architects, its original creators, and the last line of defense against a threat far older and more terrifying than anyone had realized. As the elder humans made their presence known across the galaxy, their influence spread like a ripple through a pond, affecting every corner of existence. They arrived not in the form of conquerors or invaders, but as guide sentinels who had waited for eons to awaken and fulfill a destiny that had been set in motion long before the galaxy had formed. Their return was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a stark reminder that their civilization had once been the heartbeat of the universe. But with their awakening came the undeniable truth. Their time had passed, and the galaxy was now the responsibility of the very species they had left behind. The Voron League, still reeling from the discovery of the ancient human technology and the vast power of the elder humans, found themselves at a crossroads. They were forced to confront a sobering reality. Everything they had achieved, every advancement and every victory in the galaxy, had been built upon a foundation laid by a species long gone. Humanity had been the architects, the original creators of the stars themselves. And now, with the galaxy on the brink of collapse, it was clear that the elders were the only ones capable of preserving the fragile balance that held everything together. But the galaxy had changed since humanity's departure. New factions, new powers, and new ideologies had taken root in the vast expanse of space. While many recognized the elders as the rightful stewards of the cosmos, others viewed their return as a threat, a challenge to the dominance they had fought so hard to achieve. The debate was fierce, as political and military tensions escalated. Some factions, unwilling to surrender control, tried to resist the presence of the elders. But the technology and knowledge they had inherited from the original humans was far beyond anything currently in existence. Resistance was futile. As the elders began to weave their presence into the fabric of galactic governance, they revealed the true reason for their return. The Harbinger, the force that had once driven humanity to the brink of extinction, was not just an external threat. It was a force of nature, a cosmic inevitability that had been building for billions of years. The galaxy itself was on the verge of collapse, and the Harbinger was its inevitable end. It would come for everything, indiscriminately, leaving nothing in its wake. The elders, now possessing an understanding of the universe that no living being could comprehend, knew that the galaxy's only hope rested in the unification of its disparate factions. The only way to survive the Harbinger's wrath was for all species to work together, an unprecedented alliance that could tap into the ancient technologies humanity had left behind. But such unity would not come easily. Trust had been broken over millennia, and old wounds festered beneath the surface of galactic diplomacy. In the final moments of the galaxy's greatest trial, the Vorn League and the other factions would have to decide whether to embrace the truth that had been hidden from them for so long, that humanity was not only the origin of life in the galaxy, but the first species to confront its inevitable end. They had tried to warn the galaxy, to leave a legacy of knowledge and protection, but now it was up to the new generations to rise and prove they were worthy of that legacy. As the threat of the Harbinger loomed ever closer, the galaxy found itself at the precipice, and the final question echoed through the stars. Could the galaxy unite in time, or would it fall to the darkness that had once devoured humanity itself? Thank you for watching Starlight Sci-Fi. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thrilling tales. Remember, the stars hold secrets we can only begin to imagine. Until next time, keep dreaming of the infinite.